So, Aftyn Behn, right? Like, let's get into her. I want to dive in. If you don't know, for whatever reason, you know, Aftyn Behn is running for the Congressional District 7 here against Van Epps, who Trump has certified and endorsed and all that good junk. And so, you know, I've been getting texts from Aftyn for quite some time for the different things, you know, that she has ran for. And when I saw that she was running for this district, you know, I quickly went and looked up my district, you know, because, you know, I always try to let people know, you know, I've been a lawyer for a long time, heavy in the practice of law, and then jumped into the political field around 2021 when I became the legal redress chair for the NAACP, and then I ran the campaign for Judge Khadijah Babb, and we made Nashville history by unseating a criminal court judge for the first time ever. So I kind of got baptized into the realm around that time frame, and you know, I have always been a citizen, always voted, I've always used my civic duties, I've always voted, you know, but because I was so busy practicing, I was not always focused on politics or what was going on in the different areas, because I was so focused in the criminal justice realm. And so, you know, how I came upon this case, how I came upon Aftyn Behn again, you know, I'm looking and I'm like, you know, so now I'm very much involved, but she's not in my district. I'm not able to vote for her. So it's like, okay, yeah, no biggie. I can't vote for her. Let me continue focusing on what I'm focusing on. I'm coaching lawyers. I'm training advocates. You know, I'm booking, you know, legal literacy curriculums and teaching students. Like, I'm just doing a lot of things in the legal literacy realm, more so in the criminal justice literacy area, right? So I'm not tuned in, and I'm not focused in on this. And also, let's just take a note here. You know, why it's okay not to be always so tuned in, especially during these times. Like, I was diagnosed with anxiety in 2021. Was it 2020 or 2021? It was one of those COVID years, and I was diagnosed with anxiety. And so I really got intentional about protecting my mental health, especially being in a high demand job such as being a lawyer, right? And I'm talking about like a real disruptor lawyer, like the one everybody wants to call, so that way you can help solve their problems, right? Because they know you got that intensity that you're going to bring, that you're going to get the job done. And so it's a good problem to have, you know, you're in high demand, whatever, but it takes a toll on your mental. And so, anywho, that's just like the abundance of people in the world working their jobs, and you're busy doing a lot of different things, and then trying to juggle listening to what's going on in the media, getting stressed out by hearing about what's going on in the media, still having to continue living and moving forward. So anyway, the people in the world, the majority of people are consuming a lot of different content while trying to work their job, trying to do all the things, and it's just not reasonable to expect that everyone's going to know every single thing about politics as soon as it happens, or everyone's and then you're going to hear a lot of people like, well, you know, then you need to plug in with the ones that do know, or the ones who are saying these things. And it's like, yes, right, of course you do. Of course you need to be trying to see and plug in and know as much as you can, but at the same time, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about and I found it when I came out and, you know, into the political scene, what I saw was a lot of dividedness, right? I didn't see people working together. I saw a lot of people beefing. You know, I just saw a lot of ruha, fra BS that doesn't matter, but it was important, you know, to them for whatever reason, and, you know, separate relationships, and, you know, good people who do individual good work in different places just can't work together for some reason. So, and I mean, I can do a whole, you know, separate video on the reasons why. So, we'll do part 2. But anyway, people are busy, right? And for whatever reason, you have people that you trust or you don't trust when they're giving information. Either, a lot of people are concerned with people being bought and just, not giving authentic information. And so, like, just really just, not trusting everything they're saying because, they feel like they're for hire. And, we saw that in the Councilwoman Joy Kimbrough case, that fraudulent complaint that was filed against her. When the community had a meeting, like, they were really going in and asking these representatives, right, these leaders of the community, like, hey, how are you being paid? What's your interest in this? You know what I mean? And then if we start really going in and then, like, really investigating, like, where that money is actually going to, right? Your lifestyle, whatever. It's a nonprofit industrial complex, and we all know there are issues with that, blah, blah, blah. But there are abundance of reasons why people are not tuned in. There's abundance of reasons why people choose who they're going to listen to and who they're not going to listen to. So at the end of the day, here's the kicker. This election went on, and, the primary was in October, and there were multiple people running, and Aftyn Behn beat out those people, and she's the front runner. And then now with, Tuesday's, great wave of what it is just people coming out saying, listen, I hate what the hell is going on in the world right now. And baby, where I can make a difference is locally in my local politics. And damn it, I'm gonna do it. That's what people are saying. Absolutely not. What? You don't care about food benefits? You don't care about people having food? What? Okay. You don't care about health care for us? What? You don't, so people are just trying to fight back in the ways that they can, and they're seeing they can't have this passive intensity anymore. The Democrats are, for sure, right? Seeing like you can't have this kind of passive intensity, like, oh yeah, whatever. Let's just try to talk it out and we'll all figure it out. Hell no. When the other side been strategizing, they have put these things in place since way, way back in the day. And I think I talked about this at one point when I was talking about that, the case where it made, all the affirmative action, all that stuff people were in up in arms about because, schools are not able to consider race and admissions, well, all the stuff, but we, that's just more recent happening a couple years ago. However, they filed the initial lawsuits like over 10, 15 years ago, like way back, baby. They've been playing the long game. It's like we're not even in the game at all. It's like, what are we doing? And so, like, that's why it's good to see how California is fighting back, because it's like you got to match that intensity of bullies. Like, when people are bullying you, this administration is a bully. You gotta, like, match their intensity. You can't be coming like, hey, guys, let's do this. And, like, okay, anywho. So, listen, hearing all this stuff, I'm like, this is how I'm getting involved into, or I'm figuring out, like, wow, hold on, y'all. Tennessee got a chance here. Some's amiss, the same people that I worked with, in Cali, social justice philanthropists who connected me to Obama's campaign manager so they could, basically give me a little mini master class on running campaigns. And that was while I was running, that was like when I started running Judge Khadijah Babb's campaign. I went and just started reaching out, trying to, talk to all the different types of campaign managers and people and just see, all right, what's going to make me the best? How do I need to go about this? And so now, we won and we've done the thing. I'm being called upon for me to do that same thing and consult with others who are, coming into Tennessee or whatever, just trying to get an idea from somebody who is native to the land, somebody known for, I just don't have any I don't have any loyalties to any particular person, except the right thing, right? And so, I like to call out when, motive, bias, I like to call all those different things out. And so I'm known for that in the criminal defense world, that comes over into just who I am, right? I want to challenge you to be clear-eyed in this, honest. We pay you. You are our elected officials. Like, you owe us a duty. And teaching others how to do the same. And so, I like to give a different worldview of thought process of the people who I know, right? People who, my audience, people who trust me and trust what I'm bringing to them, right? Just like when I brought the Disrupt Manchester case, and I was here telling y'all that, hey, these people are being oppressed in this city. They kidnapping these kids. And it wasn't national news yet. People are like, what? Oh my God, it's such a bad thing. I can't believe it. People are concerned, but they're not really motivated. They're not doing stuff. And then when, the news story got picked up, then it's like, oh, shucks, what's going on? I want to help. Please let me help any type of way. But, people are just kind of hesitant to believe immediately unless, I guess, mainstream media tells you to do it. We could go off on a tangent on that. But anywho, eventually you came to see for yourself that it was true. All of those things. So now I'm telling you this. I'm coming to tell you another truth. Tennessee has an opportunity, like one that maybe we've never actually had before. And why haven't we had it before is because oftentimes, and I went to, and I had the opportunity after I was kind of roped in to do some conversations about it and hear about it. I got my activism ignited after hearing about the possibility, recognizing Tennessee and where we are, and then doing my own research with people that I trust about the candidate, Aftyn Behn. And it checked out. I went and looked for the worst of her, and didn't see anything that concerned me where I would say, oh, I'm not voting for her. I learned from my research on her, she is a disruptor in her own right. She's been an organizer for quite some time. She was in there going in, getting taken to jail, fighting against Casada, who's just, been released and pardoned by Trump. And, she was there. She was speaking up for women that had been harmed by people there, so she's been like, an advocate. Then she's been out here in, when ICE was out earlier this year, she's out there in the thick of it, challenging them here in Nashville. So, this is someone who is, first of all, the person who is the candidate. I don't care if you voted for them or not. None of that shit matters. Again, like put your little feelings out the way, your ego. Let's move that shit out the way. None of that. That's the reason we're in this situation right now. Playing all this respectability politics, nobody cares about any of that stuff. Like, if any candidate I swear to God, if any candidate who ran in that primary and lost to this girl is not doing everything they can to get the people that voted for them to now vote for her, they are trash. They are trash. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this is not about them. This is about the opportunity that Tennessee has to actually flip a fucking red seat. We all know that Tennessee has been, all red, super red majority, right? And so we don't get these opportunities often. And so, and also, a lot of people don't even jump into it or try because they feel like it's useless. They feel like, why should I do it? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make, it's all red anyway. It's not going to matter. It won't make a difference because, so you look at the numbers and you get discouraged, and it's like, that's a horrible way of thinking, but okay, I understand, you hate being upset, whatever. But here's the kicker. Tennessee has an opportunity to flip a seat, and everywhere around, everyone feels it and knows it, right? And while at this moment, we now have the opportunity to play chess, not checkers. We have an opportunity to play more strategic than we usually play, right? And the only opportunity we have is if we show up like we've never shown up before for this special election on December 2nd. Like literally from November 12th through the 24th, they're going to be doing early voting. So you have plenty of time to get out here. But y'all, showing up to this election is so big because here is the kicker. We have enough people in Davidson County of Democrats that can show up and vote this woman into office. And then what happens is it starts fire, right? Hunger Games, right? Do y'all not remember? Fire is catching.
You can torture us and bomb us and burn our districts to the ground. But do you see that? Fire is catching. And if we burn, you burn with us.
That's what the hell happens when you flip one. It's like, oh, hold on. Let's strategize about the second one. Let's strategize about the next. You know, you can start to really make some change. And there are national eyes and people who are starting to look more at Tennessee and say, hey, some of these states that have been historically red don't have to be. We're letting them be. We don't have as much voter suppression as some of these purple states. We have plenty of early voting, plenty of spaces you can get out to. So all we have to do to win this election is show up in a huge way. I'm talking about every single person, not double the people that came to the primary. That's it. Double the people that came to the primary. Over 30,000 Democrats came to the primary. We need to double that. And we can. If we actually take this seriously. Don't sit back like when people are being oppressed, people cannot remain oppressed forever. Hello? Come here, MLK. I'm telling you, oppressed people get together and start to actually create a revolution. And what you do is you create one with your mind first. You got to be strategizing. You got to be saying, oh, okay, you're doing this to me. You cut off these benefits. You're not concerned with my family. You're not concerned with how I'm going to live. You're not concerned. Well, then this is how I'm going to show you I care. In this local election, right? This local election that you don't have the electoral college manipulating, right? This local election where you're getting in there and it's just your vote saying, this is what I want. We can do this. This shit is possible. Like literally, it's possible. And let me tell you something. And if you don't know anything about me, I can't be bought for no campaign. I haven't been paid a damn dime. Nothing for this. Nothing. I am only coming to you all because literally I bring information like what? I'm the Black Law Girl Rand. We talk money, politics, and criminal shit. Okay? This right here is politics. Right? This right here is everything. It is all the things. It is everything because you have power at this time to stand up and actually come in and let your voice be heard. Like, I cannot be bought by $1. Somebody cannot come pay me and say, oh, Courtney, I want you to come say all these great things about me. I won't go do a damn thing. Right? I won't take a dime or anything from you unless I check you out myself and see, who are you really? Right? What have you done? And listen, I had to go do my research and I looked in and I said, oh, okay, but that wasn't good enough. I wanted to meet her. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to hear from her. So I went to this Williamson County Democratic Party. And when I tell y'all the Williamson County Democratic Party event that they had for her, and it was amazing. First of all, Williamson County Democratic Party is not playing. Like, they got it together. Like, honey, they got over 6,000 members now. Like, people are coming in by the droves. I heard terms like recovering Republicans, people who have moved from the Republican Party. I heard that they have, 2 separate Republican parties up there now. Like, I mean, that, there people are tired. And it's not, just a black people thing or not just a brown people thing. Like, this is a first of all, a poor people thing. This is all people who are not billionaires, trillionaires, and all this good stuff, making good money and able to do whatever they want. And, this is getting all the tax cuts and tax breaks. This is a people problem. All of us. Like, this is, okay, cool. You slept it. You did, you slept the last election. You didn't do, whatever. You didn't think it was that bad. It's that bad. And we know it. And so how we show up is in local politics now. We show up here at this local election. And at the end of the day, you need to be on the right side of history. And being on the right side of history means voting for Aftyn Behn. Here in Tennessee, right? If you were in Congressional District 7, and then if you don't know whether you're in Congressional District 7, please send me a message and I will help you figure out what district you're in. And then if you really want to talk even deeper and you're like, you know what, well, I'm kind of considering what's going on, well, then let's hop on a call and have a conversation, right? Let's talk about her. You got some friends over there, you in that district, y'all want to have a little event together? Like, what are we going to do? We're going to come together in the homes. We're going to come together and like really have a conversation around this. If there's hesitancy around voting for her, if you got an issue, say so. And let's talk about it right now so we can move past any hindrances and get on the same game. Chess, not checkers. That's all we do when we're having a trial. We're playing chess, not checkers. You know? The other side, the right side, the Republican side has been playing chess, not checkers for quite some time. And now some of them don't even like where it has went. And so at this time, it's time to move this little party shit aside. Oh, Democrat, oh, this and that. No, let's just play chess. Let's play chess. You don't give us stuff that we want. Well, then we're going to be strategic about doing some things that you don't like. And that's putting this person in office. Yeah. Okay, because then when we do this, now we have our target set on this next one too, right? And we're coming for you. We're not waiting for a seat to be open, right? We're going to strategize around how to do that. And so like, this is where we get to actually make a difference. That's all. That's all I want to say. This is where we get to actually make a difference. And so you got questions? Let me help you talk through them. Let me overcome any objections. Let's have some conversation or whatever. Get it out the way. And then everybody, you know, anybody, whoever, go over there and knock some doors, right? Yourself. Go be the one to give that authentic realness to that person that needs to hear it. Like, yeah, no, this is the right thing to do, y'all. This is what we got to do. Make people understand the game. Some people don't see the game coming. Some people not as strategic. Some people are like, you know, they're just not. You know, some people just don't have strategy like that. Sometimes they just kind of like let people lead them everywhere. You know, you just kind of listen to somebody tell you everything. You just that kind of person. And that's cool. That's cool. However, let's apply some strategy. Okay? Let's let some strategy push us to make our decision. Anyway, that's my thought. Vote for Aftyn Behn. All right.